sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell when you do subscribe. I'm trying to get the channel growing. Let's get the video started. Welcome to Sports Trades. My name is Luke, and the Boston Red Sox have won the 2018 World Series Championship. This video is going to detail every single detail of how the Red Sox acquired the 25-man roster that would help bring the city another championship. Please enjoy. Kicking off the list, we have Christian Vasquez, who was selected out of the Puerto Rico Baseball Academy in high school with the 292nd overall selection in the 2008 MLB Draft.
In 2009, Red Sox scout Mike Lord traveled to Aruba to set up an open tryout, but the scout didn't find what he was looking for. Not by a long shot. That's probably because the island's best player, 16-year-old Xander Bogaerts, was at home with the chicken pox. Bogaerts' mom was not about to let him go to that tryout. The scout tried to get her to change her mind. Xander and the scout begged and begged. Then Xander's mom thought about how hard her son had worked over the years. Xander's uncle, former coach, devised his unique training regimen. Xander spent days swinging against a tire to build up his arm strength.
There's gotta be a better way.
To improve his aim and focus, Xander used a broomstick to bat almonds across the backyard.
My dinner.
So finally, Xander's mom decided to let him go to the tryout, where despite being horribly ill, young Xander delivered, and Bogaerts agreed to sign with the Sox before the end of the week.
Matt Barnes was the 19th overall selection in the 2011 MLB Draft. He was a compensation draft pick when the Detroit Tigers signed Victor Martinez. The Boston Red Sox traded Justin Masterson, Nick Hagedorn, and Brian Price, the best Price that's ever played for the Boston Red Sox, on the trade deadline in 2009 to the Cleveland Indians in exchange for Victor Martinez. Alex Gonzalez played one season with the Boston Red Sox in 2006. After the season ended, he signed with the Cincinnati Reds, and the Boston Red Sox were awarded a compensation draft pick, the 55th overall selection that was used on Nick Hagedorn. On the trade deadline in 2007, the Boston Red Sox traded Kaysen Gabbard, the 872nd overall selection in the 2000 MLB Draft, David Murphy, not the one that was on the Mets in the 2015 World Series, a 2003 MLB Draft, 17th overall first-round draft pick, and Angel Beltre, who was signed as a non-drafted free agent in 2006 in exchange for Eric Gagne, who once recorded 84 straight saves, an MLB record. When Eric Gagne left and signed with the Milwaukee Brewers, the Boston Red Sox were awarded a draft pick compensation. They selected Brian Price. When Adrian Beltre left for the Texas Rangers in 2011, the Boston Red Sox were awarded two compensation draft picks in the MLB Draft. The first one being the 26th overall selection, Blake Swihart out of V. Sioux Cleveland High School in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. The second one being JBJ out of the University of South Carolina, a 2010 and 2011 College World Series champion and most outstanding player in the College World Series, was teammates with Sam Dyson, Whit Merrifield, and Christian Walker. Was the MVP of the ALCS with a bases-clearing double in Game 2, a grand salami in Game 3, and a two-run homer in Game 4. With the 172nd overall selection in the 2011 Major League Baseball Draft, the Boston Red Sox selected Mookie Betts out of John Overton High School in Nashville, Tennessee. Wow, what a steal. For the deal to be possible, I want to backtrack real quick. Soo-Woo Kim signed with the Boston Red Sox as a non-drafted free agent in 1997, and Sung-Jon Song somehow ended up with the team in 1999. I don't know how they got him. They traded him to the Washington Nationals on July 30th, 2002 in exchange for Cliff Floyd. Cliff Floyd would leave in free agency. He would sign with the New York Mets, and the compensation draft pick awarded by the MLB gave the Red Sox the 32nd overall selection, in which they would use to select Matt Merton. Matt Merton would be included in a deal with Nomar Garciaparra, the 12th overall selection in the 1994 MLB Draft, which would land them Orlando Cabrera and Doug McCaviage. McCaviage was the guy on first base that caught the final out to help the Red Sox become world champions for the first time in 86 years. Orlando Cabrera would leave in free agency and sign with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in the compensation draft pick awarded by the MLB, one of them being Jed Lowry. Jed Lowry would be dealt with Kyle Wheeland, the 108th overall selection in the 2008 MLB Draft in exchange for Mark Melancon. And for the final two players in the deal, Ivan DeJesus and Jerry Sands, let me backtrack even more. The Red Sox traded Carl Crawford, who signed as a free agent in 2010, and decided not to go all out for the final catch in Game 162 against the Orioles, and signed Nick Punto as a free agent after the 2011 season. Adrian Gonzalez took a lot to get him. The Boston Red Sox traded the 204th overall selection in the 2007 MLB Draft, Anthony Rizzo, the 30th overall selection in the 2008 MLB Draft, Casey Kelly, and the 28th overall selection in the 2009 MLB Draft, Raymond Fuentes, and a player to be named later, Eric Patterson. On January 28, 2008, Willie Monta, who somehow started with the Boston Red Sox in 2004, and Miguel Sokolovich, who was signed as a free agent in 2004, would be dealt to the Chicago White Sox in exchange for David Aardsma. Aardsma would be dealt to the Seattle Mariners on the same day as the inauguration of Obama in exchange for Fabian Williamson, and I can guarantee you that this made more news on the MLB circuit than the inauguration crowd of that year ever made on any news platform. However, I could just be taking a humongous guess. And Fabian Williamson would be dealt to the Oakland Athletics on June 26, 2010 in exchange for Eric Patterson. On November 24, 2005, the Boston Red Sox acquired Josh Beckett along with 2007 World Series MVP Mike Lowell from the Miami Marlins in exchange for Hanley Ramirez, Harvey Garcia, Jesus Delgado, and Anibal Sanchez. They were all signed as non-drafted free agents. On August 9, 2013, Rafael Devers was a signed free agent to a minor league contract. On July 26, 2014, the Boston Red Sox traded Jake Peavy to the San Francisco Giants, and he would later go on to win the World Series that year in exchange for Heath Hembree and Edwin Escobar. First, the Red Sox got Jake Peavy in a 3-team deal the year prior in exchange for Jose Iglesias, who was signed as a free agent in 2009, Francelis Montes, who signed as an international free agent in 2009, Rondon, who was signed as an international free agent in 2010, and J.B. Welkendon, who was the 421st overall selection in the 2012 MLB Draft. One pick shy. On the trading deadline of 2014, John Lackey, 2013 World Series hero, who was signed in 2010, would be dealt along with Corey Rell, the 143rd overall selection in the 2013 MLB Draft, in exchange for Joe Kelly and Alan Craig, who purposely tripped over Will Middlebrooks' legs, tried to score, was clearly out, but the home plate umpire called him safe for whatever reason. The obstruction call is one of the most bogus plays in the history of the World Series. So the Red Sox would go on to win 3 straight and the World Series. Eduardo Rodriguez would be acquired from the Baltimore Orioles on the trading deadline of 2014 in exchange for Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller was dealt from the Miami Marlins on November 12, 2010 in exchange for Dustin Richardson, who was the 163rd overall selection in the 2006 MLB Draft. On the trading deadline of 2014, the Boston Red Sox traded away team legend John Lester and Johnny Gomes, who was on the cover of Sports Illustrated after the Boston Marathon attacks with his flexing guns, in exchange for Yoenis Cespedes and a competitive balance pick that was later forfeited with the free agent signing of Hanley Ramirez. Yoenis Cespedes would be dealt with Alex Wilson, the 77th overall selection in the 2009 MLB Draft, and Gabe, I cannot pronounce his last name, the 563rd overall selection in the 2013 MLB Draft, in exchange for Rick Porcello from the Detroit Tigers. Sandy Leon was acquired for cash from the Washington Nationals. And with the 7th overall selection in the 2015 Major League Baseball Draft, the Boston Red Sox select out of the University of Arkansas, Andrew Benintendi. On November 13th, 2015, the Boston Red Sox dealt international free agents Manuel Margot and Javier Guerrero and Carlos Asuaje and Logan Allen to the San Diego Padres in exchange for Craig Kimbrell. Asuaje was the 323rd overall selection in the 2013 MLB Draft, and Logan Allen was the 231st overall selection in the 2015 MLB Draft. On December 4th, 2015, David Price signed a 7-year, $217 million contract with an opt-out after the 3rd season. He could opt out after this World Series, who knows? On July 14th, 2016, the Boston Red Sox make another trade with the San Diego Padres, this time dealing Anderson Espinoza, a free agent that was signed to a minor league contract back in 2014, in exchange for Drew Pomeranz, who I'm extremely terrified in this World Series about. Just throwing it out there. On December 6th, 2016, the Chicago White Sox finally rid of Chris Sale after he cut up their jerseys. And what they got in exchange was Yoan Moncada, a free agent who signed to a minor league contract in 2015, Michael Kopech, who I will get into in detail in just a second, and Victor Diaz, who signed to a minor league contract back in 2015. So if I can backtrack for just a second, Sung Woo Kim signed as a non-drafted free agent back in 1997, and Soo-Jong Song, who played his first season in 1999, don't know how they acquired him via trade or whatever. Both of them get dealt to the Montreal Expos on July 30th, 2002. Cliff Floyd would later go on to sign with the New York Mets in free agency, and the compensation draft pick awarded was Matt Merton. Merton would be dealt along with Nomar Garciaparra to the Cubs, Expos, or Twins in a 4-team deal, and the trading deadline of 2004 in exchange for Orlando Cabrera and Doug Mickavich, who I've already mentioned before, caught the final out of the 2004 World Series. Orlando Cabrera, when he left in free agency for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, one of the draft compensation picks was used on Jacoby Ellsbury, and the other one being Jed Lowry, which I already described in detail prior in the video. Jacoby Ellsbury, when he left in free agency after winning the 2013 World Series to go on and join the Yankees and become irrelevant at this point, they got a compensation draft pick. Michael Kopech was the selected player. On December 8th, 2016, the Boston Red Sox signed free agent Mitch Moreland. On July 26, 2017, the Boston Red Sox dealt Gregory Santos, who was signed as an international free agent in 2015, and Sean Anderson, the 88th overall selection in the 2016 Major League Baseball draft, in exchange for Eduardo Nunez. In February 26, 2018, the Boston Red Sox acquire a man who hit 45 home runs the year prior for the Diamondbacks and Tigers, Just Dingas Martinez. On March 11th, 2018, the Boston Red Sox signed a free agent to a minor league contract, Ryan Brazier. June 28th, 2018, the Boston Red Sox dealt Santiago Espinal, the 298th overall selection in the 2016 MLB draft, in exchange for Steven Pearce and cash. On July 25th, 2018, the Boston Red Sox dealt Jalen Beeks, the 374th overall selection in the 2014 Major League Baseball draft, in exchange for Nathan Eovaldi and Ian Kinsler, the last player we'll go over tonight. Ty Buttery was the 151st overall selection in the 2012 MLB draft, and Williams Jerez was the 81st overall selection in the 2011 Major League Baseball draft. That's all it took for the Angels to be convinced to deal away Ian Kinsler and $1.8 million cash on the day before the trading deadline this season. And if you learn anything possibly new, be sure to leave, whatever it is in the comment section, like, oh, that's what it took to get this player, or, you just found that to be an interesting fact, or you didn't realize that this player was acquired in a trade or a free agency. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell when you do subscribe. I'm trying to get the channel growing. Steve Pearce with a 2-run bomb, 2-0 Red Sox. Let's go, boys! Yeah! Mookie! 3-1, boys! Do damage! Yeah! 4-1, boys! J.D. Martinez! MVP! 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 Red Sox win the World Series! 4th time in 15 seasons! Let's go, boys! Oh!